Namaste, beloved. How are you? My name is Syma, and I am an international sacred feminine and spiritual coach, healer, yoga teacher, and Amazon bestselling author. And I have the blessing of supporting soulful women all over the world in healing their blocks and their wounds, manifesting their dreams, and flourishing in every way into the goddesses they truly are. I am so excited to share with you today a practice that has been so profound in my life and has tremendously helped my clients in, again, healing their blocks and manifesting their dreams. And this is a practice of using mantras. Mantras are ancient, timeless, sacred chants. Many different traditions have them, but the ones I will be focusing on in my yoga teacher mode today are Sanskrit or Vedic mantras. And these have just been so powerful. The way they work is that the vibration of the sacred sound is where the magic happens. It's when we chant them, what happens is that it works on our energy channels, on our subtle channels, as well as our chakras, our more major energy channels. And they just help to heal us and have breakthroughs on an energetic, but also a mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and material level. So they're so incredibly powerful. They've really helped me transform my life. I've been working with mantras for many years, and I find my clients who are completely new to spiritual tools, if they're open to it, they'll try it if it resonates with them, and they just come back saying, give me a new mantra, this one has done what I was intending to do and I want some more mantra practices. So I really hope that this serves you. If you're totally new to mantras, my love, I will link up an article that I wrote, so it should come up around me, and I'll put it in the description just to introduce you to mantras. I'm going to focus a little more on, if you're ready or considering mantra practices, how some tips I can share can really support you in the process. So the very first thing to consider is, what is your intention? Getting really clear on your intention for the mantra practice, because there's so many different kinds of mantras, and each mantra can be used for different ways. So for example, a Lakshmi mantra can be invoked and chanted in practice for material abundance. It can be practiced to experience spiritual wealth and abundance. It can be for success. It can be for increasing fertility, creativity, even beauty and attraction and being more magnetic. So when you're really clear on your intention, that's what will help you to decide what mantra you want. Whatever your intention is, the energy and the effects of the mantra will support that intention. So it's really essential to have a really clear intention of what you want your mantra practice to focus on and why you want a mantra practice. So once you know what you want your mantra practice for, if it's for love, it's for healing, if it's for manifesting wealth or experiencing spiritual knowledge, whatever it is, just get really clear on it. And then the next step is to research your mantra. And if you don't know which one you're going to practice, it's really easy. Just Google search wealth mantra or love mantra or health mantra, healing mantra. And there's so many different kinds. I will leave a link for you with some mantras that you can look up just for different purposes, really popular choices for mantras. And if you see something there that resonates with you, you're welcome to use that. But choosing your mantra is essential so you know which mantra you're going to practice. And then you want to get to know your mantra a little bit, because there are different kinds. So for example, Kundalini mantras, they're practiced in a different way. They can be practiced for 3 minutes, 11 minutes, 22 minutes every day for certain periods of days, whereas a lot of Sanskrit mantras are practiced 108 times. And for that, you want to make sure that you have a way to count your mantra chant. So I'm wearing this beautiful mala. Malas are extremely powerful, beautiful spiritual tools. They're readily available in many spiritual stores and even online. This one is made for me by my beautiful soul sister Marion Bouquet, the creatress at Jungali Soul. I'll leave her link in the description, so please make sure you check that out. She sells her beautiful creations on Etsy. And malas really help to keep count of your mantra, because 108 times is the number of nadis, or more subtle energy channels you have. So when you're chanting the mantra, what happens is you're affecting the change at that level, that energetic level. So it's really potent, really powerful for Sanskrit mantras to chant them 108 times. And again, malas are very helpful. Sometimes you can find MP3s or recordings of mantra practices on YouTube or with different artists like Ahem Prema, where they actually chant them 108 times. So you can listen and chant along. But I personally love mala beads because when you're chanting a mantra, it's like another level of healing is to wear that mala afterwards. So you're constantly in that energy, the potency, the magic of your mantra. And there's many different kinds of malas. This one, my beautiful soul sister Marion makes with arrowheads, which really help you get in touch with the inner warrior. And it's just so powerful. She uses sacred gemstones, so you can find malas with gemstones and crystals and rudraksha beads, which are very sacred beads, sandalwood. She uses all kinds of different sacred stones and beads for her malas. And, you know, specifically with my friend Marion, she makes them in nature and in lakes and in mountains. So these particular malas are very powerful. That's why if you are interested, I'll leave a link for you on how to explore them. But find a mala that really speaks to you, that really helps you feel connected with the divine and will support your spiritual practice of your mantra chant. So just to summarize there, it's really essential to learn a little more about the mantra that you choose and to find out if it's a mantra that is best chanted 108 times, or if it's a Kundalini mantra that you want to find out how many minutes you want to practice it to experience its benefits. The next thing, of course, is to decide what kind of mantra practice you want, as in how many days. So there are different days, set days for mantra practices to really experience their effects. Traditionally, and this goes both for Kundalini and traditional Sanskrit Vedic mantras, 40 days. If you choose a 40-day mantra practice, what that does for you is it helps to really release old habits and create a shift and help you to welcome in a new habit. So 40 days is really just the beginner level of a mantra practice that is a beautiful way to test something out and see how it's affecting you. The next level is a 90-day mantra practice, and this really helps to confirm the new habit. So if you're doing one for success, the 40-day may help you, with the new beginnings and to smoothen your path and to bring beautiful new blessings. 90 days will really help you to embody the energy, the vibration of success. If you're hoping to break a habit of self-sabotage or negative thinking, like with a mantra like Ahem Prema, and experience divine self-love. Ahem Prema, by the way, is one of my favorite mantras. It's one I've shared in my Manifest Soulmate meditation video, in the heart chakra healing video, and probably in the self-love video. It means I am divine love. It's Ahem Prema. And that mantra, for example, will help you to experience self-love. At 40 days, you will experience more of a healing of the barriers to self-love. And a 90-day practice will really help you to feel the self-love from the inside out. 128 days is the next level. And this is where you really begin to embody and radiate that the essence of the mantra practice. So if it's self-love or abundance or success or spiritual knowledge, peace, healing, health, harmony, so many beautiful things you can experience with mantras. And then the highest level in a way is 1,000 days, and that's when you become the master. So these are some different set day practices to chant your mantra practice. Now, once you know how long you want to have a mantra practice for, you want to decide what your start day is. It's really beautiful to start on a new moon because you have the energy of new beginnings really supporting you. Other times are on your birthday or beginning of a month, first day of the month, but traditionally a new moon is a really energetically supportive time to begin a new mantra practice. So I encourage you to do that if that resonates with you. You can practice it at any time. There's no really a wrong time to practice. I would stay away from Mercury retrogrades just because whatever you start during a retrograde, normally you have to redo after. So you're more likely to forget a day and then have to start all over. It's totally happened to me. I don't know if I started in Mercury retrograde, but I have forgotten on the 39th of a 40-day practice and had to start all over. And just a little note on that, my love, is that it is essential to practice every single consecutive day for the set that you're choosing. So if it's 40 days or 90 days or 120 days, if you forget on day 119 of your 120-day practice, you do have to start all over. And the reason for that is that the energy has to accumulate, and it's a really specific energetic effect that builds progressively. And skipping a day, you can't reset or continue. You do have to reset from the beginning. And you know what? It's happened to me, and if it happens to you, don't worry. Take it as a, okay, you know what? I'm meant to go even deeper with this mantra practice. And trust me, for the days that you did practice it, you'll still experience its benefits and blessings. So once you know what day you want to practice it on, I like to, before I start my mantra practice, create some space and time for it. It's nice to decide if you can do it in the morning or evening. It's best and most powerful to do it in the morning and evening. Normally they just take a few minutes, right? It's not necessarily a long practice unless you do a Kundalini mantra for many, many minutes. But most Sanskrit mantras, a lot of times, are 10 minutes, unless you take one of the really longer chants. So carving out that time for yourself and making it consistent and maybe putting it in your calendar, having a little alarm, will help to make sure you don't skip a day and have to start all over again. And then having a sacred space for it where you can keep your mala, maybe light some incense, write down your intention for the mantra practice and keep it there in a little note. All these will really help to enhance and elevate your mantra practice experience. The next tip that I have for you is that when you start, I love to have a little ceremony and just kick it off in a special and sacred way. So again, you can bathe yourself and buy flowers and create a beautiful altar, or just create some kind of ritual or ceremony. You can smudge your space. I have a video on how to smudge, to clear your space before, write down your intentions. You may want to make a vision board that symbolizes through pictures what you want to manifest and experience for your mantra. Anything you feel guided. It's just nice to have a little sacred ceremony and ritual when you begin your mantra practice, because that symbolizes to your subconscious that I'm in business and I'm ready to really embark on this spiritual journey of transformation, and the universe just loves to receive that commitment from you. Now, when it comes time to actually chanting your mantra, I like to, whether I'm working with the mala, which I usually always am, unless it's a Kundalini practice, think of my intention first, sit down in meditation pose, and then begin my chant. And as I'm chanting, I will either focus on the mantra itself, which is so beautiful, it's rhythmic, it's hypnotic, it can totally transport you to a deep place of peace and bliss. Sometimes you can even envision and incorporate visualizations into your mantra practice. So if it's one of health, imagining yourself healthy and happy and vibrant, and really feeling the emotions of that and bringing that into your chanting. It's like you're totally amplifying that spiritual practice, because then not only are you practicing the mantra and you're focusing on it and its sound, but you're also experiencing the emotions, the vibrations of your desire manifest, which is extremely powerful. And then when I end the mantra, I like to send the energy of my desire manifested and all the beautiful positive feelings that it's eliciting in me, I like to send that out into my life, to my loved ones, and then to all beings everywhere. So that's just taking your spiritual practice to a whole new level, so that you know that this mantra practice isn't just for me, but as I receive its blessings, I become a conduit of shining its blessings out to all beings everywhere. So it's an invitation for you to consider. Now, if you make it, when you make it to the end of your mantra practice, whether it's 40 days or 90 days or 120 days or 1,000 days, celebrate. Celebrate all the blessings you received, celebrate all the learning that happened, all the spiritual lessons you received, and really, again, just as if you created a ritual or ceremony to initiate your mantra, you may want to do something to celebrate the closing of the mantra and really just give thanks and be grateful and celebrate. It's a beautiful way to honor your spiritual practice and journey. A couple of additional tips that I have for you is to keep a journal. And you can get one just for your mantra practice, or use the one that you're already having to write down every day what comes up for you during your mantra practice. So any insights, any ahas, any physical signs, even the smallest sign that shifts are beginning to happen, that miracles are beginning to happen, that you're beginning to attract the material realization and manifestations of your intention for the mantra practice. it's really beautiful to write it all down, because then when you look back at the 40 or 90 days, you see, wow, there were so many awesome things that happened, and really help you to enjoy, appreciate, and celebrate your spiritual journey and the power of the mantra. One thing I want to share too is it may not always be so positive and uplifting and feel so miraculous, because whenever you embark on a spiritual practice of any kind, what has to come up is that which needs to be healed. So whatever blocks and wounding you have that's keeping you from experiencing the intention that you have for your mantra. So for example, if you want to experience soulmate love, but there is a lack of self-love or self-worth or beliefs that you don't deserve it, sometimes either within yourself or in your life, things will start feeling really wonky, and it might almost seem like it's getting a little more negative. And what that is the universe wanting to show you what needs to be healed, so it can dismantle the old, so you can heal, transform, and transmute it, release the old story, release the old pattern, release the old situations. And with the mantra practice and with your commitment to your spiritual healing journey, to open to the miracle of a new perspective, a new pattern, empowering thoughts and beliefs, and an empowered relationship with yourself, and more faith, and really just creating new patterns for yourself that really honor you and support you and are in alignment with your soul and your mantra practice. So make space for it, be patient with the process, and be gentle with yourself, and know that it's all unfolding for your highest good. So I hope that's really supported you, and as I said, one of my favorite mantras to start with is the Ahem Prema Mantra, because it means I am divine love. I've shared it in many other videos, because when you have self-love, you manifest everything. Everything comes to you with ease and joy and miraculously. Even if you want to have a mantra practice for healing or abundance or a soulmate, there are mantra practices specific for that, but I always feel that the Ahem Prema is the best foundation, because it helps you experience divine self-love. And I'm extremely grateful to share and delighted to share that I now have the Ahem Prema Mantra available on my website for sale. I've chanted it 108 times. If that's something that you want to try, it's available, and I'll leave a link for you to get it if you want. And I just hope that this video has supported you. I welcome you to visit me at flourishinggoddess.com to receive a free meditation from me by signing up for my newsletter, and just to find out how to work with me if you want to book a one-on-one session. And again, I will leave information for Marion Bouquet, Jungali Soul malas, so that you can treat yourself to this beautiful gift, my love. I hope this has served you. Let me know in the comments how I've been able to answer your questions, and if you have more, I'll pull them together and do a follow-up video in the future, just to keep this going and to continue to support and empower you, my love. Thank you so much. Sending you all my love. Like, subscribe, join me on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and I look so forward to supporting you again. Namaste.